Absolutely. And I know we covered this a little bit, but if we want to go quickly over how much does a program cost, and I know you talked about the ab initio programs and then also the type rating programs, and just the basics of what that includes.
And follow up with, why should I take a course at Aerostar?
Well, I know we're going to get to that as well. We've got a slide for that. So.
No, and I think that's a great, I like that question. In fact, I think everybody should ask that of every school. So you have to look at yourself first and say, what's my expectation? What do I want? I pride myself and the rest of our team at Aerostar on the fact that we are pilots. We're out there doing this every day. I flew 2 legs in the A320 yesterday. So when I say I'm current, I mean that I'm out doing it about half the month. I take great pride in bringing that experience to my students. And I think that's important. I think it's also important to train with a school that isn't looking at you as a dollar sign and isn't looking at you as a number. We really consider ourselves a boutique-style training center. We really take great pride in getting to know our students, developing a relationship with them, creating a learning environment that's positive. It's not we're not running a pilot factory where you're just a number we're trying to force through a pipeline. And I think we speak to that when you look at the ratios of our graduates. Like 97, 98% of our graduates graduate on budget. A little less, couple less percent graduate on time. Now, somebody says, well, why is there a difference? Because we respect the fact that not everybody's a robot and they don't learn at the same rate. So if somebody's having some training difficulties, we try to mediate their training difficulties without charging them extra for it. And we have a published remediation training plan that says, hey, if you do have a problem, we're going to give you so many hours of ground school, we're going to give you so many hours of additional instructor support to try to get you through on budget. The last thing we want to do is charge you extra. We want you to graduate, do a great job, feel good about yourself, go out and land a job so that you'll tell everybody you had a great experience at Aerostar. And if you ask around to our graduates, I think you'll hear that from them.
Right. A question that kind of goes along with, what's included and what's not, and this is just probably a fairly simple one, is do you offer any line training or contracts?
So no, we don't directly offer any line training or contracts. That's fairly uncommon in the U.S. and North America. It is common in other parts of the world. However, we do have referrals to companies, and we're developing a new relationship with a company that does offer line flying. So line flying is where you would actually pay somebody to fill the seat to go out and operate as a first officer or captain. You're basically paying them for the privilege of building some time with them.
Right.
We do have referral partners that do that, but our focus is on providing great training. Placement, we're not a placement service, but again, we find that our training is pretty well recognized and our graduates are in fairly high demand. Does that mean that every graduate is going to land a job? Of course not. But it means that a significant number of our graduates who go out there and put forth the work and try and beat on doors and update their resumes and get their word out there, they're going to land a job in that first 12 months after graduating from Aerostar.
Fantastic.
Do you have any in-house check airmen? I mean, when they get done, how do they get their type rating?
That's a great question, John, and yes, we do. In fact, I'm one of the in-house. It's called a training center evaluator, and I am a training center evaluator for the A320. So we use almost exclusively our own evaluators. We're really representing the FAA in that role, so there isn't any difference between in-house or FAA, but it just makes it easier for scheduling purposes, and we do offer that.
Right. I know you already talked about the training locations. You have Orlando, and you have a new one that, if you wanted to mention that one.
Well, we currently have Orlando for the Airbus A320. We have Miami for the A320, the Boeing 737 NG, and the Boeing 737 Classic. We have an approved satellite in Fort Lauderdale for the A320. And we have some new pending locations. I can't go into a lot of details about those, but I will tell you they're in the Southwest United States. And they're using existing training centers used by airlines. We would use those simulators to provide our students those training opportunities. And not just type ratings. We talk a lot about type ratings, but Aerostar is in the approval process for the new ATP CTP course that does require time in a simulator. And we'll be offering those courses and those programs fairly soon.
Right. Next question, and we need to move a little bit more quickly so that just quickly about, does Aerostar offer a guarantee?
Well, we get asked about guarantees all the time. And what I say to people is we can't guarantee that you're going to pass. That would be illegal, in fact. What we do guarantee you is that we're going to provide you remedial training. We're going to do everything we can to get you to pass.
Right.
Do we guarantee that you are going to get a job? No, but we have a job assurance program that says if you don't get a job and you took one of our standard type rate programs, in 12 months, we'll do a recurrent program for you. Basically, it's at cost. It's actually below cost, just to keep your proficiency up so that you can stay fresh in that job market. I don't think anybody else is doing that. And that actually costs us money. And I'll tell you why. I've had some people call me and say, oh, that doesn't cost you anything. Yes, it does, because we don't own our own simulators. We rent the simulators. So we're renting that simulator for you because we believe that we're not going to have to do that for a whole lot of people. And to date, I think we've had to do the job assurance recurrent less than a dozen times. Why?
Wow.
Because everybody gets a job.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's take the last couple of seconds and just talk about, what people who are interested in getting started should do in the next couple of weeks.
Well, it's kind of important right now if you're sitting on the fence about doing a type rating program. We've had a unique opportunity given to us by some of our simulator providers where they gave us a little bit of a discount. We're passing 100% of that on to you, our valued customers. So if you're interested, these are the best rates and the best tuition that we have ever offered at Aerostar. And the way to get started is just to email us, call us, get in touch with Elizabeth. Elizabeth is your first point of contact. She will get you sent out an application like any other school. Complete the application. Do your due diligence. Make sure that we're the right fit for you. And if we are, let's get you enrolled and get you signed up for a class.
Absolutely. So basically, if you're sitting at your computer right now, now's probably as good a time as any to just type out a real quick email to info@aerostartyperatings.com. If you have questions that didn't get answered, ask them, and basically get started. Elizabeth can send you documentation and other things to get started, or you can call the phone number, and you may not get through because we've got a lot of people on the call, and if everybody calls Elizabeth on the phone, she's going to go nuts.
And guys, I'm going to be on the info@aerostartyperatings.com for the next couple hours. So it'll be Elizabeth and I trying to answer everybody's emails. Again, do I think this is the perfect opportunity for everybody? No, I don't. And if I don't think we're the right opportunity for you, I will certainly do my best to point you in the right direction to try to help you. Bottom line is, we are pilots who are trying to help other pilots obtain career success, and if we can make a difference for you, give us that opportunity. Whether you enroll in our program or enroll in somebody else's, we'll certainly try to help get you in the right direction.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Dave. I know this was hard for you to get away from all the training you've been doing and all the flying you've been doing to do this, but it was great to give us the opportunity to ask you a bunch of questions, and personal questions, some of them, and take it from there. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Paula, and thank you, John, and thanks for everybody that joined. It really was a privilege to be here with you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.